we have started.
Hey everyone, my name's Shawn Bradley. I'm an FGCU student, and one of my hobbies is fish keeping, so I use this assignment to inform you all about it. I hope you learned some things and ask me any questions at the end if you do have any. So first we're going to get right into the tank size. So according to an article written by Sterling in 2020, there are many different tank sizes, and some fish can even die in a small tank size. This right here is a 10-gallon tank. The second thing you want to make sure you have is enough room around your tank to work. There's a lot of water changes and a lot of water spills. With all the cords around here, with all your accessories, you want to make sure that nothing gets wet, so you need plenty of room. The third thing we're going to jump into is the accessories. So some accessories you'll definitely want is a filter and a light. Those are the two most important accessories. Some other accessories include this is a hang on the back filter. So this is one of the types of filters. Another accessory would be a decoration. This is a fake driftwood with fake plant decoration. So not very eco-friendly. I bought it when I first started out, so I'd recommend going the live plants and live wood route just to save some more money and to help protect the environment. Another very cool accessory would be the master kit. So to save time rather than going to PetSmart and Petco to get your water test, you could check your water parameters right at home, and it's a fun little experiment as well. So you fill up this test tube with water, you drop your solutions in, you compare it to this chart, and you see what your water parameters are and what you need to do to help the fish and other species survive in the tank. Very fun science experiment. Another accessory would be these pure balls, which provide live beneficial bacteria and enzymes to the aquarium. It helps keep the water clear. It's not necessary, but if you like really clear water, you should try it out. So what you need versus what you don't need. Definitely need the filter. You have to keep the water moving. You definitely need the light, especially if you have live plants. But you want it to simulate daytime and nighttime. Another thing that you could buy is a bubbler. So you put this here and it's connected to an air pump through a tube, and it provides these bubbles so that it keeps the water surface moving, so there's not like oil buildup in one corner. Very beneficial. There's also a spinner that you could attach here rather than the bubbler that just spins the top of the water. So what to put in your tank? There's lots of things to put in your tank. There can be snails, there can be shrimp, there's fish, there are crabs, there are even frogs in here. It really depends on the tank size and what you want to mix with each other. Not all of those mix well. They'll say that my beta and shrimp do not mix very well, but I did take the risk and it's working out so far. According to the Aquarium Co-op, the three easiest fish are going to be your tetras, your betas, and your angelfish. You need a little bigger tank for the angelfish, but those are going to be your three main starting fish. So now we're going to jump into the plants. There's two different types of plants. There are the fake plants, which are made out of plastic, and then there are live plants which grow and you can trim, and it's very fun to watch them grow. They also provide and create an ecosystem and provide oxygen in the tank to help the species survive with more oxygen. According to Edmund in the aquarium, plants will give a ton of life and aesthetic to your aquarium to make it seem more real, like a real ecosystem. So next we're going to talk about the aquascaping and how these plants are laid out. There's back plants, middle plants, and front plants. There's also different pieces of driftwood. You can also grab driftwood from your local lake or something if you did want to save some money. It doesn't harm. It's also with rocks and gravel. As long as you just do a proper curation of them, you can DIY your tank and save a lot of money. And that's kind of how you're going to cut corners, is by saving that money and making sure that there's still adequate stuff in the tank for the species. So then we're going to talk about the different types of media and aeration. So like I mentioned the aeration already, but the different types of medias are the hang on the back filter and the canister filter. The hang on the back filter just hangs right on the back, and the canister is this big thing next to it. It's usually for much bigger tanks. A hang on the back will be anywhere between a 10-gallon and a 50-gallon. Anything above a 50-gallon, they would recommend a canister filter. Much larger, much more power to filter the tank. So where not to cut corners would definitely have to be within the filter and the light. You don't want to get a cheap filter because it's going to save you money in the long run if you buy a nice filter that is going to last for a very long time. Because filters are not cheap and you don't want them to keep breaking. Also, a light is very nice because you'll want a timer on it so you don't have to remember to flip it on and off every morning. And there's different lights that this can produce to help the plants grow more. So there's just a lot of research into that, which is very neat. And lastly, there's different types of filters and heaters. Some tanks don't need a heater. My tank here does not have a heater because I'm right next to the window and my betta doesn't like heat. Also keep in mind that heaters do increase breeding in the tank, so you definitely want to keep that in mind on what you want. As you see here, I do have a pregnant shrimp. That's just from the heat on the natural window. So I have her in this little casing here to protect the babies and hopefully watch them grow. I've already had a few batches, so it's very fun. So yeah, this is my hobby and I just wanted to share with you all because it's a passion of mine and it gives a sense of belonging. You know, you're taking care of this environment. My fish's name is Grace, so we have a little connection and it's just really fun to, you know, see it all come to life. So I hope you all learned something. Thank you very much for listening and see you next time.